Hey guys, we're back. I'm Mr. Fox, and I'm joined by my co-hosts Un and Anger.
Hi. How's it going, everybody? Oon in the house.
I
That's
am
Un.
Anger. Yo.
And that's Anger. All right, today it's very special. Today's very special because we have a special guest with us, and the special guest is Captain Corn Cob. Hey, Captain, how are you
Howdy.
doing?
Oh, not too bad.
It's nice to have you today for this recording. Do you want to introduce yourself very briefly?
Yeah, sure. I'm a mediocre fighting game player, sentient cob of corn, love heavy metal. That's about it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. It almost sounded like Anger, except better.
Ayo. This is Pog.
A-
Okay,
anything.
let's go.
It's
I'm
better.
also related to anger.
Oh, that would explain a lot then.
Yep.
A sentient
Distant
corn.
cousin. Yep.
Honey?
Makes sense.
Okay.
I'm the world's most pissed off corn.
It
Corny.
does
guys,
seem
gonna
like
corny.
Anger's family would mess around with corn. saying.
Yeah.
Just
I
saying.
mean, it's
Thing-
good to
thing
eat
I
corn.
would
Yo,
believe.
yo. Yo, it's good to
I
eat
wanna-
corn. It tastes good, okay? Don't diss
It
on
does.
corn,
It
bro.
does. With butter on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. We have a lot of subjects to talk about today. And I'm going to, I mean, you know the subject, but our viewers don't, sorry. We're going to start with music in video games. This is a subject I actually quite like, because I like the music in video games.
Mhm.
2D versus 3D fighters, and which one do you prefer and why? Then we're going to switch on ports, remake, and remaster. So, do you like them? Do you not? Do you have any? Have you been playing some? Then we're going to switch to a subject that it's very relevant for all of us. What got you into fighting games? So that would be interesting. And the last one, what are you currently playing? All good?
Good.
Yes,
Sounds
sir.
All right. Okay, so let's start with the music in video game. So this one it's kind of special, I will think, because
Yeah.
people don't really think about music in video game as a whole. But for some people, and it's quite an important aspect of the game, and especially for me, I'm speaking for myself there. I really like some of the music in video game. Some games have awesome score, and some have terrible thing. So is the music in video game important for you?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Oh,
No.
Okay.
One no.
Okay, let me explain, okay?
okay, Anger, explain why you said no on this one.
Like,
He's a troll.
sure, it's like of course it depends on the game, but usually when I'm playing games, I don't really think about the music. Like, it's a important thing to set the mood, but I just don't think about it. When I'm playing fighting games, I sometimes just listening about, okay, it's good, but even though I love the music or something like in Tekken 7 with one stage, as infinite something stage, I don't know. Yeah, exactly that. I love the music, like it's so good. But when I'm playing and I hear the music, or I don't really know, when I'm playing in that stage and the music comes on, I don't even care. I don't even listen about. Oh right, this music was on. I forgot because I'm just so concentrated into the game, and I'm concentrated to in fighting games to win and just having fun and
Yeah, I
trying
agree
to
with
build
you.
someone.
I agree with you. A game can be very, very good and the music very bad. That I absolutely agree with you. It's just that sometimes when you have a good music, you got a good game, you got a good soundtrack, and everything goes well together, and it makes the game even more enjoyable.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
good picture.
I gotta agree. I think the Anger's only odd one out here. He doesn't care about the movie because the music he doesn't really hear it. But like to me, sometimes I even put my actions to the music. Like I'm listening to a song and I get a kill or a stock, and at that right moment in the music and it matches to my rhythm, I'll even go with it. Like I'll dance to it, like dan. I'll dance to it with my character. And it's like it's the opposite for me. The music, like the rhythm, drives me mid game. If
Yeah.
I'm like somehow I'm back against the wall, and then I hear that Guile theme song. Oh, you bet I'm gonna try that comeback. You bet I'm gonna get riled up and get pumped up and be like, yeah, I'm going for it.
Yeah, it gives you some kind of motivation almost.
Yes, I don't just throw it. It's not just back noise for me, anger. Not just back
Yeah.
noise for me.
But I completely understand they are very good game with very bad music, and sometimes it's a bit of a shame, but it doesn't, distract from me to enjoy the game. But
Yeah.
if you have a good soundtrack, it makes it so much better, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. Like a good example, in my opinion, of that is anybody here play Metal Gear Rising?
Yes,
No.
I've been playing it.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Did you? Oh, you've been playing it. Did you notice like?
Am I the only one? Continue.
Once again, yep, the only one. But do
Only
you
one out
notice like?
again.
Do you notice when you're fighting bosses, like the music starts off just strictly instrumental, it's just the guitars, the drums, all that stuff, right? But the more
yeah.
you wear the boss down, then you get the old, and it makes it that much more better when you're starting to beat him down, you know.
I never,
that-
you know what? I haven't been playing the game for a long time, but I never noticed that. I will have to.
Yeah.
To
Yeah,
see
it's
that
got
again.
dynamic
Oh.
instrumentals in boss fights.
I have
Mhm.
noticed on the other games, not the Metal Gear, but I have noticed some other games when the music game becomes more intense, the more when the HP goes down, you know, when they
Right.
start
Yeah,
it- and it does set the mood for it. Like I agree with you, but when I'm in the mood or when I'm really into it, I'm just ignoring the music. Just, okay, time to just finish it.
I think it also depends too on like what you're doing at the time too. Like say I'm playing something like really grindy like Borderlands, you know, and I'm trying to like farm a gun or something like that. So yeah, I think it can take a backseat, you know. And the music in that game is extremely minimalistic to begin with. I can throw on a podcast, but
Yeah.
you know,
That's exactly what I do actually.
Mhm.
Actually, when I as you said, Borderlands, I really like Borderlands, and sometimes I just
Mhm.
okay, the time to listen to some YouTube while playing the game, or I say as I play, I just listen to podcasts.
Mhm.
Yeah, there are video game like that where I just put something else in the background while I'm playing
Mhm.
because
yeah.
I don't really mind doing this. It doesn't distract me from the game, and the music is average at best, but I'm still enjoying
Yeah.
playing the game while doing something else on the side. I mean, it's good. What are your best or favorite music in a video game? Really, which game did you started realizing this is good? You know, this is good music. What was the
Ooh.
first game you realized that music in a video game became good? They became very important and good.
I think for me it was probably Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And and I don't know if the rumors are true behind like the whole Michael Jackson had an involvement. Doesn't matter. That music still freaking slaps even to this day.
Oh yeah.
I agree. Actually, it's a
Very
good
good.
song.
Yeah, they're very good choice. Very, very good.
Mhm.
Sonic 3 was good.
Mhm.
I think for me, I started to realize music in video game were good with The Legend of Zelda, the original.
Ooh.
I remember I was a kid at the time, and when I was going into a shop and I could see the demo of the game playing on a TV, you could hear the main theme of Zelda, and I was like, "Wow, that sounds awesome!" And that was my first experience with actually realizing that a music in a 8-bit video game was awesome, and that that was kind of I was quite hyped just for the music itself, just by listening to it. So that was quite something. And then later on, I like other type of music. The one that really got me when I was playing the King of Fighter 94 on Neo Geo CD, and you have this track from the China team, which is the Athena theme actually.
Oh yeah,
And-
it's like Psycho Soldier.
Yeah, that's a Psycho Soldier
Mhm.
song. It's actually a song. It's with vocals in the game,
Right.
and that was so amazing. And I was like, wow, there's actually a song while you're playing the game. While you're fighting, there's a song playing. So I was just amazed, and that was back in 1994, where when the CD was still, not
A
brand
young
new,
thing.
but it
A
was
young thing.
yeah, it was still young, and I was just amazed. And then other games like Final Fantasy Tactics. I love the soundtrack in Final Fantasy Tactics. It's one of the best soundtrack for me. And also Valkyrie Profile, which is the same guy. He made the soundtrack. So they are the big games for me that I realize I like music in fighting games. And then there's so many other games as well, but I will say those ones are the main one, really.
Yeah. Angry, do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
You can go first, cause why not?
Okay. For me, I would say I was more of a SNES player. I was, I grew up with it. Even though I had it when everyone had a 64, the SNES was the first for me, and that has a lot of good music in there. I think I was like the first kid in my school that would actually bump video game music, like on a CD player, while other people were, bumping their rap or their hip hop, whatever was popping at the time. But I actually listened to like Mute City on F-Zero track, and it was great. It was like, I think the first for me was Mega Man X. It was the first game that I played. My friend let me borrow that game, and it has some really thrilling heavy metal music, so like some really classical stuff like that. Now today, that's like wow, it's just like wow. So I mean, the Color Instinct was also very good. Killer Instinct was also very good. That's just too many. Chrono Trigger, oh my god, that's too many. There's too many. But yeah, definitely around like Mega Man X for me. All right, so that's about it. Anger, anything?
Okay.
Anger's the only one.
So here you go. Like,
here you go.
I don't. When I started to realize about the gaming music is when I actually started to go to, I think it's college something, and I was gonna have to do games because I was going to work with it, to study for it. And of course, when you start with game and doing games, you gotta see what you have to add to make a game, And then I realized that you have to have music to make it somehow interesting. And that's when I actually played Tekken 7. So one of the one I recognized more was Infinite Azure, even though I sometimes ignore it. But one of the only few times I actually played a game just for music and not for a game is Sonic Racing, Sonic R, where he runs, Do you guys know it?
Saturn
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a Sonic game.
Can you feel the sunshine?
Yeah.
No,
Made
bro,
it sing me on straight.
that's bopping, bro. That's like,
Oh yeah.
that's the shit. Oh my god, I was playing with my friend. I was playing with my friend. I was like, you want to play some old games? Sure, man. I like old games. And it was like, this game is shit, but I fucking love this song. Let's play it for Let's play it for 3, 4, or 5 hours. Just for the song, not for the game, but for the song. And we played it 4 or 5 hours just for the song, because it was so good while the game was so shit. I kid you not. Like,
that's
literally
one of the only reason you play it.
Yeah, like there is I don't really remember. Like, I play so many games, but I usually don't remember the song or don't really care about the song, because I just really like to play a game. But Sonic Racing is just the only game I actually just play the game for the song. The only game. To be honest, that's just too good, man.
Okay.
Sonic has a good music. That's all I gotta say.
Mm-hmm.
It has good
Sega
music.
systems, man.
It has the good music in the first or second stage, and then after it goes downhill from there.
There's some in between as well. There's some in between as well.
I love Sonic 2 boss fight music. It's a classic.
All of Sonic 2 was a great soundtrack. All of great Sonic 2 and 3, great soundtrack.
Sonic Adventure, with the shadow, and when you start falling down from the helicopter and just snowboarding on the street.
Oh yeah,
the song there. Oh,
that's my favorite song. Yeah, that's my favorite song.
Let's talk about it.
What about Cobb favorite music, or
Right.
what?
Oh,
what
just
is
in
the first
general?
game?
Oh, you asked
Well,
that?
I mean, you already asked me first favorite, like what got me into it. But like, if I'm just gonna go through the years, I guess I think the first time like I've ever really gotten into fighting game music essentially was probably Guilty Gear X, because big Metalhead and that whole entire series is nothing but heavy metal references and hard rock.
All riffs. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree.
I was gonna ask if you do you enjoy the heavy metal stuff like Dragon Ball Z music like they had.
Dragon Ball Z is not metal.
Okay,
no, not
there's
GT. I think was metal. My bad.
A little bit. It was like that weird new metal shit where it's like, hey, let's try really hard to be Limp Bizkit, and I didn't get that, but
I wasn't a fan of that either. Yeah, I wasn't a fan.
However, if you guys know the history behind the Budokai games and the guy who did the composure for that, he ripped off a ton of metal bands to make the music.
Yes, I heard the story about it.
Yeah,
I remember. I saw it on YouTube. Yeah, I saw the YouTube.
Oh my god.
Yep.
I had no idea.
It was like, wow.
Yeah,
but it makes sense.
The guy's got great taste. I'm not gonna deny him that. But man, it's like, how many times can you rip off Stradivarian?
Every single intro, and about every intro had one from a different riff or something from some different band.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he had riffs from Megadeth. He had riffs from Stradivarian, Gamma Ray. A couple of, a lot of power metal. I think something from Dream Theater too. But man, it's just, how did he get away with this for so long?
Unbelievable.
Probably because Japanese, they just keep it quiet and keep it Japanese. They don't understand.
It's possible. Yeah. Oh, and let's not forget as well, Killer Instinct, the soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
The 2013 Killer Instinct. This soundtrack. It's amazing. I mean, we know why it's amazing because obviously.
I don't know.
Anything Mick Gordon touches is gold, in my opinion.
Exactly. That soundtrack is amazing, and let's not forget as well that in the game the music is adaptive. I mean, it adapts to the situation as well.
Yep. If you think back, I mean, that stuff started all the way with Street Fighter 2 with the panic versions of the themes where as the opponent's life lowered, the theme would speed up. That's always been there. And then Killer Instinct takes this whole other level where, after you finish a round, you could punch somebody to death in sync with the music. That's just.
Yeah, we talked about that. Killer Instinct being some of the greatest composure ever.
Killer Instinct has an amazing soundtrack.
The soundtrack is insane. That new one is oh my god. The old one was good, but that new one, oh my god.
Yeah, it's largely inspired by the old one, of course, because you recognize some of the theme, but it's to another level, obviously.
And then all the weird in lore with a lot of this, apparently in the TJ Combos theme, there's some sort of interview spliced in between R. Kelly and somebody at some point.
Yes, I watched the documentary about the Killer Instinct soundtrack, and there's a lot of things he done or he tried to mix stuff with talked and I don't know. It was a bit confusing to understand, but there's a lot of work behind it.
Oh yeah, and it just goes to show the absurd amount of effort that Mick Gordon goes to put into anything he does,
Yeah, and thinking that they were on a tight budget as well to make the game. It's impressive. It's impressive. I know there are a lot of people who love Capcom soundtrack, especially Street Fighter First Strike. But personally, I can't stand Street Fighter First Strike soundtrack. I just don't like it.
That's never jived with me either.
I much prefer what they used to do before, soundtrack like in the Alpha series, X-Men versus Street Fighter and stuff like that. After that, even Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I don't like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 soundtrack.
What?
I do not like the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 soundtrack
ever.
I'm sorry, but when you've been playing games like King of Fighters 96, 97, 98, and then you're going back to a Capcom game and you have that soundtrack, it never really match up for me. I mean, it's personal opinion, obviously. I'm not saying Capcom soundtrack is bad, but it's for fighting games, it never really gets me hype, during a fight.
Well, you didn't play it as much as other people did you? You only played it
Oh
like a
no,
little bit, maybe.
I played Marvel vs. Capcom 2 when it was out on Dreamcast. I even played the arcade version of it.
Yeah.
I wasn't too big into it, even on Marvel 3, despite having the original game and the Ultimate. I never really been into it for some reason. I much prefer what they used to do before, like X-Men versus Street Fighter and Marvel versus Street Fighter. But the Marvel versus Capcom, I always had. I liked the game, but I was never into it.
It's funny because if you look at like the older games, like the ones that predate Marvel vs. Capcom, it's like, yeah, they had smaller rosters and whatnot, but they also had these really neat details that didn't permeate throughout the rest of the series. Like, you remember in I think it was X-Men versus Street Fighter, you had that stage where you could like punch somebody through the floor and it would
To the floor, and
shatter,
then going down to the next level.
Yeah.
It was
I
great.
I really missed.
Yep.
Yeah, I missed that stuff. I kind of wish they'd focus on that again.
So much details in those old games.
Mhm.
It was unbelievable, and I miss that too. It's the level of interaction with the level that was making it so much enjoyable to watch. As well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You made
it
comments on
made-
this for sure.
And it made the fight seem more like grand in scale too. It's like, wow, they're destroying crap, It
was it's the same with Dead or Alive as well.
Oh yeah, Dead or
Dead or
Alive.
Alive,
It's
you
like,
could kick your opponent to the next down level or stuff like that, and it was great.
Well,
It was great. So yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, music in fighting game. In video game.
In video games.
Yeah, a lot of good choices here. From you guys. Yeah, I think we're done with that topic.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, next topic. It's not a too far topic. 2D
Yeah.
versus 3D fighters. Okay, this is a bigger one.
Almost
now.
a segue.
Yes, a good segue, exactly. Which one do you prefer and why? Anybody
That's
wants to
hard.
jump?
That is really hard because I legitimately have like favorite fighting games in each like style,
yeah.
you know?
There's some
It could be a
Tekkens
tie.
that-
It could be it could be a definitely tie. I mean, it does. You don't have to prefer one over another.
Let's not forget there is 2.52.
Well,
So-
2.52, they technically
It's really.
they technically
Yeah.
2D fighters. The representation, the graphics is just 2.5. They're just 3D characters on a 2D plane. So it's
That's kind of make
basically
a bit of a
2D.
difference, though.
It does make a difference.
Yeah, there's like and some moves in Smash Brothers because it's also 3D, right? It's 3D, but it's 2D, whatever.
I mean,
Um,
Smash is not a fighting
no-
game, so yeah.
I know this guy.
Oh man,
What about
don't you know nerd,
Nickelodeon
nerd,
Brawl?
nerd,
What about
nerd?
Nickelodeon Brawl?
I think Nickelodeon Brawl is more a fighting game than Smash.
I mean,
man,
yeah,
More
obviously.
than Ultimate,
That's party
yes.
game.
But not
Should we get
Melee is kind of the same.
should we get more dislikes on this video by saying but Dead or Alive's better than Tekken?
No.
That will be that's an interesting take. That's an interesting take, and I'm curious to learn more about it.
I want to hear more opinion about it because
Okay,
that's a hot topic. That's a hot, and I like it.
okay. I'm not gonna actually like take that stance since I legitimately don't think that, but I personally grew up on Dead or Alive. My first 3D fighting game was probably Dead or Alive 2. No, actually, take the pick. It's either Soul Calibur 1 or Dead or Alive 2. I can't remember which one I started first. But
The first one was Soul Calibur, I think.
I'm talking about like started personally, not released.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. But I remember the first time I ever kind of like you said, I threw somebody out of a church window and jumped down after him and continued the fight. It's like, oh, I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, that was
before. This is
awesome.
so cool.
The interaction with the stages.
Mhm.
I love this. It was not necessary, but for the dynamic of the fight, it was so much cooler, really.
Yeah, but they want more. What is it? Competitive friendly more now, so they focus more on that than actually the dynamics of the stage nowadays.
Yeah, but it's
That's
weird though because if you look at modern Tekkens nowadays, they definitely have that now, where you knock people off railings and that can set them up for a combo and stuff like that. I'm not saying they ripped off of Dead or Alive, but it's like it's kind of interesting to see that all of a sudden pop up in the series. When that was considered to be the more competitive game out of the two.
Yeah, I know that they also did it on what is it, Injustice 2, where they just break the wall and I think there was
the stage
another game I don't
transitions.
remember. Yeah.
Yes, there's
so
that.
wait.
Injustice.
Wait,
was the one that no
there's a
one
Guilty Gear
remembers?
Strive too. I forgot.
DC versus MK.
Oh, this is
That-
Oh,
that.
I forgot.
That one did it first. That's why MK did. That's why Injustice did it, because MK versus DC did it first.
Yeah, they took it from this.
Yeah, probably. I don't know much about it, so yeah.
Yeah, nobody knows anything about that game. So
Nobody played that game.
It was a busted mess. Nobody needs to play it. We can move on.
Yeah. Okay.
I played it. I was one of the people that. People that played
Okay. So we were talking about 2D versus 3D, right?
Yeah.
As a Cobb is the guest, let's let him go first,
Okay.
Cobb? There you go.
No,
You're welcome.
I don't think I prefer one over the other, honestly. I think like the very first fighting games I ever like really got into are definitely like Soul Calibur or Dead or Alive. But if I were to really think about it, I think I've invested more time into 2D games more so than 3D. So I guess maybe just by that metric, I could say I like 2D a little bit better.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, I'll be next. It's a tough one for me too because I like both. Obviously, I started playing 2D fighting games. The first fighting game I've played was, the proper one was Street Fighter 2 in the arcade, and then onto Super Nintendo. And then I played Mortal Kombat because they were one after the other. So yeah, 2D fighters is definitely where I started from. But then my first 3D fighter was, I think it was Virtua Fighter 2. And then I played Tekken 2 just after that. So Virtua Fighter 2, Tekken 2, they were the first 3D game that I played. And then Soul Blade on PlayStation 1, which I absolutely love.
That intro.
Yeah, the intro was amazing. And the game was amazing. The music in this game, by the way, is amazing too. Even now.
Oh, yeah.
And I still prefer the music in the original game than any other Soul Calibur they released after.
Yeah.
For some
Soul
reason.
Edge like slapped, and then all the other Soul Caliburs like generic orchestral stuff.
A bit more
It's
generic,
come
yeah.
on.
You can see that they put a lot of effort on the first game. And that's the one that I like the most, to be honest.
It probably was a passionate work more than just a game for being a game. Just like with Killer Instinct, because it was I know everyone was super passionate about it to do it. That's why it's still such a good game after like almost 10 over 8 years, right? Almost 10 years.
You mean the latest one? I mean the last one they released?
Yeah, Killer Instinct, right? You're talking about it.
Well, Killer Instinct,
2013. 2013.
Okay,
game.
okay.
Yeah.
So I think I definitely play more 2D fighters than 3D. I think I will have to say 2D fighters. For me, they are my favorite type of fighters. But that doesn't mean I don't like 3D fighters, because I like them. I mean, Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown, I really like this game. It's one of my favorite. And I like the old school 3D fighters from Sega, like Fighting Vipers. I love Fighting Vipers.
Yeah.
Fighting Vipers is awesome.
Fighterz Megamix too.
Fighterz Megamix, Virtua Fighter Kids, Sonic the Fighters, The Last Bronx. So many of them. Yeah, The Last Bronx. What else? Toe Bowl.
Toe Bowl.
Yeah,
that's
Toe
the
Bowl
one
2
by.
as well. Yeah, Toe
Those
Bowl,
are the ones. Those are the ones by Akira Toriyama, right?
That's right. Yes, he did the design. Yeah, for both of them.
Oh man.
And there is also, of course, there's Rival School.
Mm-hmm.
There are awesome games. Star Gladiator, Star Gladiator that I like as well. There's so many of them, but I think I play more 2D fighters because they were the most common, I will say.
Can I just throw something out here that I still kind of believe to this day and age? I think Rival Schools is the game that blends both worlds the best, in my opinion. Like, it's got elements of 3D and 2D. Like, it's got 2D crazy aerial combos, but it's still got the movement of like a 3D game where you can sidestep stuff and whatnot.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I was just gonna say I have yet to see another game actually come close to like pulling it off. But...
It's true. It's either games now are either full 3D games, with sidestep and very slow gameplay and move, or full-on 2D. And there's never a mix of both, like Rival School used to do. There is a game that is very particular. It's Art of Fighting 3. Has a very peculiar gameplay. It's a 2D game, but it has the gameplay of a 3D game. It's very, very odd. It's a good game, but it's a very odd game to play at first because you expect, a 2D type of dynamic in the move, but everything feels like a 3D game. You even have an OTG in the game, which in 2D fighters back in the day was very, very unusual.
That's crazy.
So yeah, Art of Fighting 3, nice game. I mean, the game looks amazing even now.
Oh yeah, I've only ever played like Art of Fighting 3 in like collections. And yeah, its sprite looks very gorgeous, but I never really spent any more depth into it than I definitely spent more time on Fatal Fury. Is it like that where you can kind of jump between the foreground and the background?
Well, that's one thing I was going to mention as well, and I said that to Anger yesterday when I was going to say I'm going to bring something about that conversation. Is Fatal Fury is well known to have two planes of existence, let's say, in the game. You have the foreground and you have the background, and by pressing one button, you can go from the foreground to the background, and it can be quite strategic because if you want to avoid some hit, you can go into the background and then hit your opponent from here. That brings you automatically in the foreground. So it's a concept that went on all the game of the series from Fatal Fury 2, I think, or 1? Can't remember exactly. Maybe the second one. From Fatal Fury 2 up to Real Boot 2, and then with Mark of the Wolf, they scrapped the ID. And
they completely got rid of it.
Yeah. To be fair, it was quite specific, changing the plane of fight. It was a bit weird, especially when you were coming from Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. It was a bit weird to have a button dedicated to doing this. People liked it. Some people liked it. Some people didn't. I'm in the middle, to be honest. Sometimes it's a bit annoying because you press the button by mistake. And but at the same time it gives you a bit more options, what you can do. And at the time it was kind of nice because it was almost like a 3D effect on a 2D game. It was interesting. It's something that nobody did on any 2D fighting game, I think. I might be wrong, of course, but I don't think that happened again.
I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
Recently I watched a video on a 10-0 matchup, and I think final bout, or not final bout, one of those games, one of those games I'm talking about right now.
A Fatal Fury?
It had one issue with one of the characters that apparently during the intro animation where he jumps down, because they both jump down apparently, they don't both land at the same time, and it's character dependent. One character specifically, the old dude, who jumps down slower than everybody else for some weird reason in the intro fight. And the fight starts as soon as your legs hit the ground. So he can get 0 to death on the first frame of just starting the game.
What the fuck? Imagine.
So it's one of those 10-0 matches where he'll never win the game because he can't even play it before the other character.
I remember Mortal Kombat 4 had that problem where I think it was the player one side could move before player 2 so they could get a free combo on player 2 before the match even
Oh
began.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Fatal Fury had one of those big issues. A 10-0 matchup.
That's
You'll
the
never
beauty
win,
of those
no matter
old school
what.
game. They
That's
never
the
going to be
beauty.
fixed.
Just
That's
imagine you and your friend just playing, and you have the game, you know about it, and you just play, and then you go for random character. And he gets that big ass character. It's like, alright, it's time to win. Just imagine the surprise of someone that doesn't know. It would be
Yeah.
hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, it would be
Mhm.
hilarious.
It's like-
To be fair, people who are playing those games now, they are veteran. They have been playing the game forever, and it's a Discord game.
Yeah, it's a Discord game.
You go on Discord to find a community of people that play the game and then organize some matches.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you need to know the game because otherwise you get destroyed.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah. If they have been, if even when the game is dead and they still continue, yes, they are probably gonna kill you for free.
Yeah, but it's a game. They are games. Those old school game people have been playing for a long time, and they just want to be able to play them online now with people. So that's why we call them the Discord game, because that's where you find the community to play to organize matches.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah. So Un, you didn't say, what do you prefer, 2D or 3D?
Me as a pixel person, I love my pixel art. I always preferred a 2D game, but that does not mean I'm throwing this like dirt on the 3D games that are out there. Those are really well-made 3D games. We talked about a lot of these already, but I would probably stick to a more 2D type of fight. Even if it's a 3D 2.5, I would stick to a more of a 2D playing field. I don't know why. It's more. I'm used to it. Even in the platforming games, it doesn't really make sense for them to go 3D. It would kind of be weird, if anything.
Yeah, Rival of Ether is the perfect example.
Yeah. Very very well made game. Bad for Power Party, whatever's. They're all still very good. Like I like the pixel art. I just don't know why, but I do love the pixel art. And it's like It's not much I can say here. You guys already covered most of it, so.
I mean,
Okay.
pixel art has its charisma. That's probably
Charisma.
why. I feel like it has some kind of charisma. That's why people like bit games. Though I don't know if it's the same bit game, but pixel games, because it's just a feeling you get. Maybe it's nostalgia, or maybe it's just feels good when you see the pixel and just seeing how they move and stuff.
So
I-
Anger,
I-
How it looks. Yeah.
What type of game do you prefer then? Is it 2D? Is it going to be 2D or 3D for you?
Since I'm a pro gamer, I'm gonna have to tell you that my first game ever was a 3D fighting game. But one of my most beloved games. I mean, it's 2.5D, but it's kind of 2D. And you already know it's Dragon Ball Fighter Z. But both have their good things, right? Because in what is it? With 2D, you can just move around, jump up, and it's just really fun. But in 3D, you don't jump that much. But you can do side, go side,
Sidestep.
Side switch.
side step. There we go.
Sidestep, sorry.
Side switch.
I'm getting confused as well.
Yeah, so you can sidestep, and it just both of the ways has makes other ways to play neutral, play different. As I say, with 3D it's more throwing to dodge kinda by going to the side, and maybe punish it, with if someone's going to do a heavy or something, and you go to the side and punish them in a way that doesn't work in 2D, because you can't really have a combo that's just for side combo. I don't know what to say, because it's just front, But with the 2D, it's just jumping, and you can do so many things. Just like
There's more option in a 2D fighting game, I feel, and a 3D. I mean, you get a better set of movement.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's
like it's two different. It's like two different problems, and it's the same problem, but two different ways they go about it, right? Where it's like, in a 2D game, you got zoner, you got to jump over fireballs, or you got to get in, and stuff like that.
I jump all the time, as you know.
Yeah, you do.
But with 3D fighters, they have these like weird little nuances, like you got invincibility on your side steps or your back dashes or stuff like that, and that's how you kind of overcome stuff like people having better normals and then on top of that, matchup knowledge is way more harder in a 3D game because typically people have like hundreds of moves per move list,
Mhm.
So I don't want to say like it's easier or harder to like I don't know play neutral, I guess in one of those games, but it's like I guess what I'm trying to say is like it's the same. It's like the same thing but different, man. To quote Tommy Chong.
I mean, you're right.
it's
It's
true.
the same thing but different. It's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've been doing the same punch, but it hits different. If you want to say it like that.
Yeah,
Except
but,
that jumping sucks in 3D fighting game.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah,
almost
it
never
sucks.
jump.
You
In
you
every
only
single
want to
game.
jump in a 3D
the
fighting
only-
games.
The only character that's actually been good in a 3D game that is jumping is Akuma, and that's because he is
Yep.
from a 2D game.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
he
Yep.
broken in a 3D game, bro. That was fun.
That slide.
It's fun to see, but bro, he was oh my fucking god. And the same with Howard. I think it's Howard or something from King of Fighters, where he's
Geese.
Oh,
Geese,
Geese.
yeah, Howard Geese or something, yeah. So, bro, he can do a 2D in a 3D game. I'm like, bro, and some games, 3D games probably has a 2D, but it's not normal on Tekken. It's not that normal on 3D games overall, if you think about it. And that he has it is just amazing, amazing but scary. Like, holy damn, if this 2D characters in a 3D game is scary, bro. It's scary. But
TODs are definitely possible in 3D games, but it's all about like situational awareness because like corners and stuff like that are super
Exactly.
important about combos.
Yeah.
What hit
Exactly.
landed? How high out
Right.
you are?
yeah,
Yeah, like where are you in the combo? Because second was very easy. I had friends that would 10-hit combo you like just dead.
yeah. Meanwhile, in a 2D game, they touch you, you're dead. I'm thinking about Battlefield Grid, by the way. You can do the easiest 5L. Oh, you're dead now. What? You touched me with the weakest attack. Yeah, you're still dead. How? You dead? I was okay. This is a 2D game. I understand.
Yeah.
Goodbye. But
Didn't
the
you see
one
when
I
I
would
landed my 5L? Of course you died, duh.
Yeah.
That's why people like the game, is because you can do those crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Not enough.
Yeah,
but,
you go
So Anger, you will say them 2D game.
I would probably say 2D game because Dragon Fight is my favorite, but not only that because I feel like 2D games can do the most craziest shit, like animation wise. Like if you see a 3D game, it's probably trying to make it as realistic as possible, right? And that's
That
why
is true.
people like it, and that's why it's based more of a fighting style that's in real life, like kung fu, karate stuff. But when you see 2D game, you already know there's some anime shit into that shit. Like the power, they have some moon, and I don't know why they have a moon at all. Like,
This is typical.
it's ridiculous.
If you're talking about anime fighters, obviously, because we're talking about anime fighters now.
But 2D is usually just
They
crazy.
all the time have crazy stuff, and they have like 20 million system that you have to use during a fight, and you forget half of them because that's how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just it looks so good.
We never
Like
knew
you
what
don't
it
even
was.
have to play it. You don't have
Still
to play it. You just have to watch it, and you see so many crazy shit. People into the game, like they throwing a moon into the ground or something. Like what the fuck is this shit?
Mhm.
Like,
Okay,
that's why I prefer it.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. We're over with the subject, by the way. But it's still funny that Anger is still calling Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
For fuck's sake, you bitch!
Dragon Ball Fighter is Dragon Ball Fighters. It's
And
a
this is his
pun.
main
It's a pun,
game.
basically.
Oh my god.
I know.
It's embarrassing.
Ayo,
It's
it's
embarrassing.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z, okay? I don't say fighter. Like, it's Dragon Ball Fighter.
Game has been released
Like
in
Dragon
2018.
Ball.
You should know by
Is
now.
don't you say Dragon Balls? No, it doesn't say Dragon Balls. I don't drag these
Dragon
balls
Balls.
anywhere. I said Dragon Ball Z. Okay? Get
You
it
don't
right.
drag
You're the
these
one who's
balls.
wrong. You're not
Anyway.
going to drag the balls anywhere.
Anyway,
Why-
let's
Hey, why
not-
aren't you
Yes, go-
dragging D's nut? Why aren't you dragging D's nuts to the next subject?
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh my god. Okay.
If I had just stuttered, that would have been way better.
All right, we're going to start with Cobb then. Okay.
Make a
Bye.
wish.
Transition.
All right, transition into the port, remake, and remaster. So I know there's not much to talk about fighting games in that subject because we don't get many ports. Well, some extent-
SNK would disagree with you.
I mean,
Yeah, I
there's
agree- I
more.
disagree too.
Well, actually, no. There's Street Fighter. Yeah, if we take into consideration Street Fighter 2, okay, fine.
Yeah, Street Fighter 2,
yeah.
definitely.
Remastered.
Port,
reported.
port, remake, and remaster. Do you like them? What do you think of them? Is that a good business practice? Do you like to see old game being ported in new systems? What's your point of view about it? Anyone?
I like it.
Okay.
I-
I like
Wait,
it.
stop. You wanna
I'm
go
fine
first?
over it.
Okay.
Alright, let's go.
Well, I don't. I really do like the fact of, like, you know, a lot of companies like to bring back, you know, maybe just to make a quick buck, but maybe on the less cynical side, you know, bring back games that have been, you know, maybe long forgotten, or maybe introduce them to a newer generation, yada yada yada. But it all depends for me. Like, you'll see a lot of these remasters where they'll just like upscale the graphics and then slap it onto another system and then demand like $40 for it, and then wonder why nobody bought it.
Yeah,
But-
that's kind of bullshit. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. But sometimes every now and then, like one of the games I've been playing lately, the Quake remaster, like,
Yes.
yeah, they upscaled the graphics, but they also introduced new things like a weapon wheel and like all these different settings you can apply for, you know, the graphical output and the game speed and all this other stuff. And I think, oh, sorry.
Would it be considered a remake or a remaster? The latest Quake.
I would say remaster, definitely, because it's still, at the end of the day, it's like it's using the same graphical engine, it's using the same, you know, like textures and all that stuff, but it's they've done a lot to make it more console friendly too, for lack of a better term, or make it a little bit more easier to play, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Quality of life changes. Quality of life changes.
Right? Yeah. Quality of life changes. That's a good way to put it.
I have a lot of fighting games actually ported into PS4. The latest one is the Orochi collection, the King of Fighter, the Orochi collection. Which
Orochi is in this?
yes,
Whoa.
it is.
My other brother.
And basically, the thing is with the Orochi collection is it's a collection of games, so I'm not too upset because there's 6 games in it. 6 games? Okay, we have 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, or 5 games, sorry. And I already had the game compilation on PS2, but I decided to buy it again on PS4 because I want to play it on a more modern system, and I don't want to plug my PS2 back. I'm well aware that this collection is just ports. You know, they haven't changed anything. It's just ports. There's nothing new on it. There's nothing different. They haven't added anything. It's just straight port. And I also have Garo Mark of the Wolf on PS4, which is a port of the Neo Geo, but also of the Dreamcast, because it was on Dreamcast, but also on PS2. But this version of the game has rollback netcode, and it's a remake. Well, I don't know if I can really call it a remake. It's a port with better netcode, I guess. So
it's
remake.
a port with modern. Yeah, it's like a port with modern stuff added to it.
Yeah,
because I can't go.
And it's the same with The Last Blade 2. Again, it's on PS4. It's a Neo Geo game, and it has rollback netcode, and you can play online, etc., etc. So I have those, which is good because I can play now on a modern system, well, fairly modern, but I can play online. There are games that on Neo Geo you couldn't play online because there was nothing at the time.
Online wasn't a big thing.
No.
before.
Yeah, you were playing local back in the day, so it's great that you can play those games online with a good netcode as well. So that's
Yeah.
perfect. One of my favorite game is Valkyrie Profile, which is a JRPG, and it was a game originally released on the PS1, and I was very excited when they released it on PSP 2004, 2005, I can't remember exactly. So yeah, that I liked. It was actually a remake because they changed a couple
really?
of things. Yeah, they added CGI in the game, and the intro was different. They added a couple of more things. So yeah, it was great.
Did this come out the same time when they were doing the Final Fantasy VI ones, where it was like, we're adding all these cutscenes to it and stuff?
I think it was. Yeah.
Okay, I think I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, Valkyrie Profile was great when it was re-released. What I don't understand is why they are re-releasing Grand Theft Auto 5. That I don't understand.
Because it's making an insane amount of money.
It does.
Still,
It does.
They're still gathering money while they're working on the next one.
I mean,
Yeah.
GTA 5 has been seen PS3. Can you believe it? Since the PS3 generation, and it's still going on PS5. PS5 that came out like last year. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, the Last of Us 2. I don't get it either. I'm like, why? We played it already on PS4.
But
do you really need it to play on PS5? I mean,
wasn't The Last of Us 2 pretty soon to PS5 though?
Yeah, it's the same with Uncharted. It was on PS3, and then they released it on PS4. I mean, the 1, 2, 3.
But do you mean The Last of Us 2? Because The Last of Us 1, since The Last of Us 2 came very recently to PS5. Just some months before PS5 actually. And I know that because my friend was going to get The Last of Us 2.
Wait, The Last of Us 2 is also a PS5 game?
Wait, is it? No, wait. Is it?
I don't think so. No, The Last of Us 2 is a PS4 game that they're going to re-release on PS5, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it was a
it's
PS3 game that went PS4, so the same thing.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't understand why, you used to have a gap between generation before they were re-releasing all games. But now it's like, it's just a couple of years, like 1 or 2 years, and then from one system to another, you get the same game. Oh, but it's slightly looking better, But I appreciate when the frame rate is better. To be honest, it's better to play with a game with a higher frame rate. That, it's good. But for the rest, it's just a bit unnecessary. I mean, it's good for people that missed the game before, if they didn't have a PS4 or PS3 or PS2 even. It's nice for people to play the game on a new system if they missed it. So I understand for that, but most of the time it's just laziness, I think. They're re-releasing something because they make money. So
it used to be too that like with Mortal Kombat 11, right? Like if you got Ultimate Edition, you would get the PS5 version for free.
Yes, that was an upgrade for free. Yeah.
Right, but from what I understand and read, they're gonna stop doing that now. It's like, well, then why even bother?
Yeah, that was to ease up people into buying a PlayStation 5 because obviously they are still issue finding the console, and people are going to buy the PS4 version because that's what they have. So to ease the transition, they decided to have that program to have the upgrade for free.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's not going to last forever.
Right.
No.
But the thing is they still haven't done anything to make the PS5 easier to get either. So
that is true.
Something's got to give.
That is absolutely true. I still don't have a PS5 because
me neither.
I don't have any game I really want to play on it.
How does it feel to be broke?
No, it's not about that. It's just because I don't have any game I really want to play on it. I think the one I'm waiting for is Gran Turismo 7. But
oh, really?
Yeah, I really like racing game, especially Gran Turismo and Forza. But
I mean, there's a game that is even better than Gran Turismo 7 that has amazing graphics and it's really just fun to do.
what is it?
Going outside and actually drive a car.
Oh my god.
Oh,
He's not wrong.
Okay.
He's not wrong. Driving the car is fun, but still.
Oh, okay, I can. Well, I do that as well, but you know, sometimes you don't want to leave your house. You know, and you just want to drive a Ferrari, and you know, I don't have a Ferrari.
To me, the ports, remake, remaster thing, like I'm probably against ports of anything. It's just a standalone one-to-one port of anything. It's just bad at this point in time. Like you don't change the mechanics. You don't, at least at the minimum, change the controls of some of these games that are great, yes, but has some really terrible controls back in the days. I have some really good examples as well. Like I think I bought both Bully and Psychonauts 1 on the PlayStation Store, PSN. So I play them on my PS4. They play them on my PS4, but they play like from the era of PS2. They're just one-to-one ports. They have nothing new in them. The controls is garbled. For some reason, they skips like the graphics. It be skipping and be dropping frames, and I'm going, why? You know, like just not a very good port, and it just straight up ports. Like it's that's horribly done, and PlayStation has a lot of these ports.
Yo, you actually took something that I was gonna point out. That is the controller, how it feels when you're playing the game. Oh my god, I agree with you 100%, because I have sometimes been playing some old game. I was fuck, this controller feels so fucked up, or with the camera in games, you know. Like I'm thinking about the Sonic Adventure 2, where the camera is fucking.
yeah.
It's a fucking annoying as fuck. Like, oh my god.
Spend half the time fighting the camera.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
all
whole time
3D
playing the
games
camera.
they have very bad camera control, or some games they don't have camera control at all.
Yeah, that's
It's a bit rough to go back into those games, and yeah, it would be appreciated if they could do something about it. But the problem is they will have to redone the whole game with a new engine. You know, it's not profitable for most of the companies, unless obviously they have the money to do a remake. So
that's why I prefer a remake or remastered to actually make it feel like you talk about back in the day, but now, you know, you feel me?
Yeah. Crash Bandicoot did it great. Crash Bandicoot did it great.
Do you think changing things on our original games will affect the game itself? Like make it worse or make it not as enjoyable as it used to be?
Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely. It would always change the dynamic of the gameplay of what it was, and people remember. But you got to remember that back in those days, those controls really were as bad as Anger says they were. That they really were just pretty bad stuff. And coming back into these new games and bringing them with old controls will just be really dumb, just like unintuitive. You don't want that because you're giving it the same problems the other have. Like, how many times has Skyrim been remastered, whatever? It's the same game. It's always been the same game. They haven't fixed much or anything of it to begin with. It's still a broken mess of whatever, and people still like it because, you know, still a fun game. But, you know, like, they should have at least done something with it. A straight up port, I don't really feel like ports would do anything. Remaster or a remake would probably be the best way to go.
Exactly. I agree with you. Like, we don't agree on everything, but I agree with you 100% on this shit.
That feels weird.
Like, you know what?
Can we move on to the next topic or something? This feels weird.
No, I was gonna say
Who is feeling uncomfortable about this topic? Okay, let's. No, you're right.
Let me just say one thing. Let me see what.
Oh, there's not much to it. You guys already talked about that.
One last thing I want to say about remake, remaster, and stuff.
Me too.
One kind of port remake that I have, the latest one is the Neo Geo Pocket Color Collection game on Switch. I really like it. It's 10 games in one cartridge, and you got game like SNK versus Capcom, Fatal Fury First Contact, The Last Blade 2, Samurai Showdown 2 for Neo Geo Pocket. You got a golf game, you got an RPG, and it's great because they are systems that are gone for a long time. They've been gone for a long time. They are very difficult to get, and to have them on Switch on a cartridge, or you can download it. It's even available on PC as well. I think it's great. That's all I wanted to say. That's the nostalgic me that is talking, because I have those games on Neo Geo Pocket Color, but obviously it's very annoying to play on a Pocket Color because the screen doesn't have a backlit. It's no backlit and stuff like that. You need to get the console out, putting battery inside, so it's very annoying. And I'm glad.
You gotta get those old Game Boy Advance warm lights, where it's like it covers half the screen.
I know.
You
It's
have to
exactly
like
that.
view around it.
Yeah, it's very annoying, and I'm glad they released something Switch and PC. That's all I wanted to say.
The thing I want to say,
Very cool.
there was one thing I want to say, and that was what you just said before, and that was when they remaster remake, it can become either good or bad, right?
Yes.
I feel like most of the time it can be really good, but what I feel like sometimes when they touch the story, that's when they can be problematic. You feel me?
Yeah, that
like
would be a remaster, basically. I
remaster
think.
You're talking
But
about
that's-
Final Fantasy 7?
Now I'll talk about Ratchet Clank.
Okay, let's move on to the next topic.
We're moving on.
The next topic is what got you into fighting games?
Okay.
Yes.
What got you into fighting games?
Okay, I'd start, I guess. So, what started me to get in fighting games? Well, my first game ever was a fighting game. So, I wouldn't say what really made, like, I didn't really fight just to play fighting games, but I started with a fighting game. It was really fun. And how did I get into it? Well, I mashed. I mashed my life. Like, it was so fun just mashing, and then when it was like, yes, I earned this win. You know, when you were playing with your friends, not your friends, and you yourself didn't know how to play, didn't know combos. It was just, it feels good just to press that button, like every button, and it's something just happens, you know. Some combos you happen, it was like, yeah, I know how to play the game. Yeah, I'm kind of good, you know. It was just so much fun to just play against playing and just doing shit, and it works.
So basically, the gameplay of fighting games got you into fighting games. Is that what you're saying?
Wait, say that again, because
So-
that lost.
Is it the gameplay of a fighting game that got you into fighting games?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly it.
Who wants to go next?
I guess I'll go.
Okay.
I think I think for me it's a combination of like the visuals, because I remember like I know I kind of said like Dead or Alive and Soul Calibur were kind of like my favorites, but like I think even after that, when I was starting to really start playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and starting to figure out like how to do combos and how bright and colorful that game was, like and actually pulling it off in a real match, it's like, wow, I did that. You know, you get that feeling, that satisfaction of actually being able to pull it off. Like, I think that's what got me into them and still kind of keeps me going. Like the satisfaction of being able to pull something off you land. The execution, I guess, for lack of a better term.
I have to agree with what Cobb is saying. For me, it's also how the game looked like. I remember when I saw Street Fighter 2 the first time, it was amazing. Big, huge sprite on screen that was never done before. Colorful stages, music and all, and I was very impressed about it. I was impressed with the presentation of the game and all. It was new, especially on consoles, to have this huge sprite and playing the exact game that was in the arcade as well. For me, that was impressive and amazing, and I wanted to have the same feeling as when I was playing in the arcade. And from there, from this, I started digging into the fighting games a bit more and playing more and more of them. but I'm still impressed in some fighting games presentation, graphics, music, and gameplay. Of course, now the gameplay is much more important than everything else, but with the addition of everything around it, it makes those games great for me. 2D or 3D, doesn't matter.
Same.
Okay,
All these matter.
All
Mr.
these things
Un?
matter. Okay. So yeah, I would have to agree with both of you there. To me, it was like the presentation, and because again, to me, it was the Marvel's Capcom, right? That was the Extra Street Fighter. Extra Street Fighter was the jumping point for me. Just being in the arcade, fighting somebody against all odds and whatnot. That was always really great to me. I think that had me coming back for more. It's not about, because you play a fighting game by yourself, one player, you will get bored really quick. You play arcades back to back, you could be like, yeah, I'm the best, check it out, I could beat these arcade guys, CPUs, no problem. But it's like, it gets boring, does it not? Does just fighting or training, it's like, yeah, you can find stuff, yeah, it's fun for a while, but the grind is always very real.
I was a lonely kid, I tell you what. And I had a different experience than that. I was mostly playing fighting games by myself for a very long time, honestly, until the invention of the internet.
I was too.
And now he's bullying people online.
Nice bullying people online, of course.
That's just how our mental brain works. Like, as pro gamers, we have to bully. As pro gamers.
Yeah,
I call it Combat Pro Gamer. Be proud.
Oh, okay.
Be proud.
Be proud.
Yeah, so like coming into it, like the visuals is what set me up for basically for life with this stuff. Because once I touched X-Men vs Street Fighter, I could not touch another fighting game without thinking of how crazy over the top the supers were. Like, they have Ryu with a huge fireball, right? And then you go into Street Fighter, I don't know, what was the time? The Alpha series was at the time? You go into the Street Fighter Alpha, and then it's like he throws
96, 97, I think.
Yeah. You go into the Alphas, and then you like throw a special, a tiny little ball with like 3-6 hits. And I'm like, yo, what happened to my giant fireball? Like, what happened to that? Like, that game ruined me for every other fighting game. I stopped playing. I did play the Alphas, but I didn't play Third Strikes or any of those. The first Impact, Second Impact, whatever. I didn't play any of those. Wasn't aware of them. I didn't care about them. If I saw X-Men vs Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes, what was the other one? X-Men Street Fighter, the 2, what was that one called? Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. Any of those games with the Versus series and a bunch of these characters, I was there. Anything else didn't matter. So I was pretty much hooked to this one game because of the visuals, because of the two genres colliding together, right? That's what got me into it. But the feeling of beating somebody much better than you, or coming back on somebody that you didn't expect much of you, that's always been great. That's what keeps me coming back. That is the enjoyment. I get pleasure from making comebacks on people. That is my pleasure in the game.
That's nice.
I think that kind of like harkens back to when I remember the first time I ever did, like, one of my favorite supers of all time. I know it's like lame as hell because it's like just big beam, but the first time I ever did hyper optic blast from Cyclops, because it's like, it's not just a big laser, it is a screen filling laser.
Oh yeah.
You have to block it. You can't jump over. You have to block it. You have to take at least some of this chip damage. Yeah. And then he even does like the whole little like behold, and does the wind up thing too. And it's like, I love that shit so much.
Yeah, that was definitely great.
Yeah, I like this when you do supers in like any kind of game. It just feels so good when the visual comes, and that's why you see me just mashing it like in other games. Like level 3 is just supers all the time, because I just feel like, this looks so amazing. It just like when you hit also, look, I did this. I hit you with it. What you gonna do, bitch? That's kind
of quick question for Cobb. What is your favorite fighting game? That's a tricky one.
Favorite fighting game?
Yeah.
Like of all time, or?
Yeah. Which one would you pick if you have to pick one? Only one.
Had to pick one, only one. Damn, that's hard. It's probably, this is gonna sound really lame, but I think it would probably have to be Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Oh,
Okay, it's
No.
the same
go
as Un.
Cobb! Freaking
The
love
same
you.
as
Yeah.
Un. The same as Un.
Yeah.
That's nice.
No,
It's
That's
just the problem is that roster was so we had King of Fighters obviously, but the fact that you had so many different Marvel and Capcom characters in one game, not just like Street Fighter too. I remember like one of my favorite characters was Jill. Like, oh my god, they put Jill Valentine in the game, and
Yeah.
like that blew my. And then she had a Tyrant Super on top of it, and it's like, oh, she sounds like a
yeah.
Tyrant. What the fuck?
Yeah, she was a very mimi character in that game, but she definitely was great to play with.
Hold up, check. That's such. Where did you pull those herbs from, Jill? Where did you get those from?
On a side note, I was going to ask, when was the first time, and on what game did you realize you could do a combo, or you did actually a combo, a proper combo?
Actually, it goes a little bit further back than my Dreamcast, and it was Samurai Showdown 1 on the Sega Genesis. On the Sega Genesis, the first time I ever actually pulled up a normal move into a special, it was with Nakaru. I figured out how to do like her standing medium into the little ground slide thing she does. That one.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I think that was the first time I ever like experienced it, because I played like Street Fighter before. I've played my very first fighting game ever was the piece of shit Power Rangers fighting game on the Genesis. That game was trash. It was like it was like people give Mortal Kombat shit for sprite swapping the ninjas, but it's like it was even worse with this case. It's like they sprite swapped all the Rangers. They all had the same normals. They all couldn't. They all had like. They all shared one special move, and that was pulling the gun out for like 500 years, just to bring it up to their face and fire off a shot, and then spend another 500 years to put it back in the holster. And then
was that the one where Mr. Ooze was broken? We could just fly.
No, that was the SNES game, because that was all Megazords and stuff.
Oh, okay, that one looked pretty cool.
Yeah, that one was pretty cool, but no, this game sucked ass. It was I mean, you could play as the Rangers and the Zords. But man, it's like I remember the black Zack, the Black Ranger, was like the most busted character in the game, because you could do like a little twirl move with his axe, and then there was no like startup or cooldown to it. You just keep mashing it over and over and over again. It's like the CPU didn't know what to do, so they just ate chip damage for 800 years, and it's like, okay, I beat the game.
Well, I mean, all games with its mechanics. What can we say?
Yeah.
I think the first fighting game when I started doing combo was the original Killer Instinct on Super Nintendo, because the game was made for it. It was actually one of those first game where, I think in the manual you used to have the combo list or something like that. And I was just looking at the input, and I was doing it. And in this game you could do like 50 hits combo. At the time that was huge. I mean, you could do more than that, but I was like, wow, you can do 108 combo. I was like, that's amazing. And I think, Killer Instinct, the original one, was the first time I realized, oh, you can connect hits on super special and things and that, and that blew my mind. I was like, wow, okay, I get it. So yeah, a lot of fun with this game.
When I'm thinking about combos, like I never thought about combos. Like I was more just mashing stuff. When I really was conscious, when I was really conscious about combos, like actually looked it up on stuff, that was actually may surprise you, Dragon Ball FighterZ. Because even though it's a mashing game, that was actually.
You barely learned about combos last year, guys.
Last year.
Hey yo, fuck you. No, I did combos, but I didn't think it as combos.
Anger is brand new.
Fuck you. Hey yo, fuck you. Like, I did combos, but I didn't think it as combo. I was conscious of combos after.
What was it for you then?
Huh? I did
You
play.
said you didn't think it as a combo, but what was it?
No,
for
no.
you?
Just smashing.
It's a
And
mash.
just doing a special into a special. That,
So
like, I
basically,
didn't think
the
it's
number
combo.
the number on the screen for you, that was mash 1, mash 2, mash 3,
Yeah,
mash
kind
4.
of like I know I did like a combo with in Mortal Kombat 9 with some special into special, but I never thought it, even though it's what's the text to say 2 hits or 2 combo whatever. I didn't see it as a combo. I was like, oh, I'm just cheesing right now, you know, just doing
Cheesy. Oh my
But
god.
it was a cheesy special into a special. It was a cheesy move, you know. I did a cheesy move. Like, it was a cheesy for beginners, okay? And I never saw it's a combo. Even though if I did a combo, I never saw it as a combo. Even though it said combo or something, you know. I never thought it's a combo until I actually looked it up. Okay, this is a combo. Just pressing triangle down and triangle up and you're done. It's something, I don't know. Just an example. I never thought like I think it was either the Fighter Z or the Tekken 7, but I never thought it's a combo. I was just doing stuff and it worked and was like, oh, we're gonna keep pressing the same buttons because they work together as a chain, but I never thought it's a combo.
Okay.
You never
Yeah.
thought that combos actually meant combos. Okay.
No, as I told you, I'm not listening, I'm not reading. I told you, when it's music, I don't listen to the music. And when it's reading something, I don't read it. I'm just doing stuff, okay? And if it works, I do the same thing again.
Okay.
Ager is like the Winter Soldier of fighting games. He's just programmed to press the square button. He doesn't disregard everything else.
He has the square button on micro.
Hey, it was not just the square button, okay? I did combos without knowing I did the combos, okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Triangle and square.
Hydra
Triangle up,
Hydra
triangle
egg.
up, and triangle up.
Oh,
Hydra
my God.
activates him and he just hunts down the nearest controller he could find, just mashes the hell out of his square.
Ango is going to be sad when a game is not going to use the square button.
Yeah.
Actually, Virtua Fighter 5 didn't use the square button when you started to play it.
Yeah, I was so angry actually. When it was block button, I was like,
It was a block
Who,
button, yeah.
who does put a block button on a square? I was so... You know how angry I was? Because we were playing together, and I complained about like 20 times. I was like, oh my god. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button again. And then again. And then again. You know how it went. I was so angry. I was so angry.
I know. Mr. Un, what was your first fighting game where you realized, oh wait, there's combos and I can connect stuff?
To be honest, it was actually Street Fighter. It was actually
Okay.
Street Fighter.
Okay.
Even though it started off as a glitch there, like it got pretty used to and consistent to understanding them. Like you land an attack and then you cancel into a special. It became kind of like it, my Street Fighter combo now, even from like the new ones, because I don't really play the new ones at all. But if you see my new combos, they're basically the same thing as they were back in Street Fighter 2. Land with a heavy, get another heavy in there, and then doing a special. And then if I can do a super, I'll do a super afterwards. That's all I gotta do, like in most of my Street Fighter games, since I don't play them as much as I used to. But yeah,
Nice.
it was just Street Fighter 2. It just jumped in and started punching stuff, and then you see that we can land like light to a light, and then like do an attack, and then like they go stunned sometimes. And it's
Nice.
like, wow, that's easy. I just do this and they die.
I feel
a bit
easy.
like anger, you know.
Yeah. I remember I had a cousin that was supposedly really good at the game, like really good supposedly, whipping everybody else's ass. And then I go and play them, and all they do is mash a Dukin full screen. So they're doing a Dukin. You get close and hold you, and that's all they're doing. I'm just like, wow, okay. So I
I mean,
time the thing, get in there and grab them. And they're like, what are you doing all this stuff? And it's like, I just gotta pay attention to you and just, just go around
Yeah.
you.
I mean,
I'll do my
That
little
was a classic.
combo. And
That was a
leave.
classic spam to just
I mean,
spam Hadouken.
back in the day, actually competitive, they did that Hadouken into Shoryuken, because that was effective in the old game.
One of these. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Grabs were like the strongest there.
Oh, I always hated grab.
Everyone hates grab in that game.
No, I like
You're-
in every game.
You ever hear those stories from? You ever hear? Sorry, last. I'll
No,
end this.
go ahead.
You ever
the
hear
arcade
those?
stars, arcade stars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Daigo said, like he got into a fist fight with somebody once because he kept throwing them.
Yeah. I actually seen
Yeah.
them. My brother got into a fight once because of that happened.
Mm.
It does so much damage. They I forgot what they call it, but if they do it on screen, if you don't give them the grab, they get mad and they'll
Right.
fight you
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
okay, you grab me, gentleman. You have to let me grab you back, or else we're gonna fight.
Right.
That's basically what it came down to.
Or some people get kicked out of the arcades outright. It's like, this guy throws too much. Get him out of here. Get him out of
Yeah.
here.
Like, I got the thrower. He's a cheater. Get him out of here.
Yeah.
Hey,
Mhm.
back in the line,
Yeah.
guy. We don't trust you.
Yeah. You ain't
Yeah.
coming around this arcade ever again.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Your arcade career is over.
All right. It's time to move on to our last topic, and this is an easy one. It's what are you currently playing? I just realized we didn't talk about Melty Blood, which is the latest fighting game release.
Oh,
But maybe we
Okay.
can do that another time, while we know more about the game and get more familiar with it
Yeah,
as
I
we
got
play.
trash on. I got trash on.
as
Cobb,
we play.
you made me feel not the good way.
Cobb is good at anime fighters. He is so good.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
He is good.
Yeah,
so
he's
yeah.
so good. I want to punch him. I want to be the arcade kid that just throwing out punches.
Oh, the arcade kid were good, you know. So, what are you playing at the moment? What is the game you're playing at the moment?
Who's going first?
Anybody?
I was like, wait, what?
Oh,
Okay,
well, I'm doing a lot of spoopy games, and I'm playing Alien Isolation, I guess.
Ooh.
all right. Use this stream it.
Yeah.
It's the game with the dumb AI.
That
Alien Isolation.
shit was stupid, man. That shit was
The
hella dumb.
AI of the alien is dumb and cheap. That's basically.
Yeah, it's very cheap.
Everybody loves this game. I mean, it's not a bad game, but for me, the AI kills everything.
It does.
I mean, I feel
it
like
does.
when I've seen the footage of the game, I haven't played it myself, but I've seen Unplay some other content creators play, and I feel like, bro, that's that machine, that AI just know where you are. It like the hide doesn't even work. Kind of.
Yeah, I think it's just.
Yeah.
It's just there. It's just there for being fancy, you know. To actually like a false opinion, no, the false security. Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So okay, Un, you play. Yeah, I saw you playing Alien Isolation. Did you manage to finish the game? By the way.
No, I did not. I still need a little bit more. I'm almost done with it. But like, again, I had sections where I was stuck by the alien would like literally stand in front of me for like 5 to 10 minutes. And I'm just like you could just go around. I gotta go around you for like a few seconds. Like, just move, just fucking move. And this thing would just stand there back and forth. And I'm just like,
I know, I saw it,
like,
and
I
I was
can't
like,
play this
oh my
game.
god.
yeah. Yeah, so it was very fucking annoying. But other than that, it's a really well made game. It's not an indie game, indie horror, but I wouldn't consider it horror anyway because I'm not scared of the alien guy.
Oh,
Okay.
So I was just gonna ask you, did you ever get scared?
Yes, but not by the game. By mostly the people coming into the chat and throwing in sounds at me.
I really try hard.
You did. I saw that.
Yeah, I remember
I
that.
said-
I remember that.
Okay. Okay, I'll go next. The game I'm playing at the moment, and I've been playing this game for a couple of hours already, long hours, is Littlewood.
Huh?
I'm playing Littlewood on Switch.
Okay.
So basically, Littlewood is if you know Stardew Valley, it's a little bit like that. It's a farming game slash I wouldn't say RPG, but A little bit. It's all about farming and building up a town.
I know what game you're talking about. It's
It's a pixel art, very minimalistic pixel art.
Kind of like Animal Crossing.
No, not really. No, you have to build a little town, and there are people coming to your town, and you need to farm.
Animal Crossing.
Well, you need to farm, you need to grow your own crops and stuff like that. It's a bit like Stardew Valley, but it's a more simplistic version of Stardew Valley. And in my opinion, I think it's better than Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley is good, but there's a lot of restriction with it. You got the time, and your character gets tired over time, and you cannot do much. In Littlehood, every time you do an action like cutting wood or farming, there's a bar that grow up, and when the bar is full, you need to go to bed. But compared to Stardew Valley, where the time was passing by and you were running out of time, Littlehood makes you do more stuff, basically.
Yeah.
So
best use your resources or your stamina to the best ability.
So
on that
for
day.
me, it works a little bit better. It's less stressful than Stardew Valley for me.
Oh no,
And I've been playing the game for a while now, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm spending a lot of time. I almost completed everything in the game. I still have a couple of things to finish, but it's a fun game. If you like Stardew Valley, you should try Littlewood. I think it's a good alternative.
Very good game. By the way, is it out of early access? When I played it, it was in early access.
Oh yeah, it's out of early access. Yeah, I'm playing it on Switch, so it's out of.
I'm about to restart my profile.
I'm not gonna lie, my mind went straight to the gutter for like Beavis and Butthead material. Like, hey, in Littlewood. Hey, Butthead, you say he's got a little wiener.
I mean, it's true. It's a little bit.
Little wit, tiny wit.
It's okay to be tiny. It's okay.
No, I'm like 3. But I guess it's sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. What have I been playing recently? Genshin Impact. Really don't need to say anything else about that. Everybody knows what that game's about.
What is this game? I vaguely heard of it.
It's just VR, VR stuff.
It's a top-rated mobile multi-platform experience.
I forgot it's actually a mobile game as well, because I only play it on PC. I used to play it on PC, but not on mobile.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine you would probably need like a top-of-the-line phone, otherwise it would just burst into flames or something. Trying to play
it's
that.
actually worked well on my computer is not a beast, but it
I was talking about mobile. When you're trying to play it on your phone, you would probably have to need like an up-to-date phone to play that.
Okay. Oh yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine.
I have it downloaded the game, but I have never tried it.
We were trying to play with Un, and I remember that we needed to create a character per server.
Per server. And you have to be level 15.
Is it still like that?
16, I think it was 16, something like that.
Oh yeah, it was 16.
Yeah,
we didn't do it because. Yeah.
Is it still like that?
I'm wondering. I have no idea if it's still region locked, but I'm wondering if you could actually get around with that with a VPN or something.
Oh yeah, that's true. True, yeah.
But I mean, if the character is already locked in there, you have to choose what part of the world, right? So it's already locked in the code.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
It's possible. Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah. It's not because if it was the server, you can just go out and join the server. But it's not the server. You have to say where you are, like the character where it is, and it's probably implemented with the code. So yeah.
I'll give it another try at some point.
Yeah,
try it again.
Try to sell it to me. Try to say why it's good. I want to have pro viewer.
I've been playing for a while and the game, and it's very good. It's well made as well. I was very surprised for free to play. I was very surprised how good it is.
I got one word for you. Anger.
Free to play.
Waifu.
Waifu.
I got you. Time to play. Oh my god.
There you go.
Hopefully they say
Oh.
Uwu, right? They say Uwu, right? That's all I have to hear.
One of
Say
them
yes.
goes, oh yeah, oh yeah.
One goes ora ora, yeah, ora ora,
Ara.
Oh, my favorite.
ara
What
ara.
other
my
game are
God.
you playing, Cobb?
Me? Oh,
No, no.
Oh.
What's that? What? Didn't Scott
Oh,
say?
okay. Oh, I was just gonna say the only other game I'm playing other than the obvious, Melty Blood.
Yes.
Power Rangers is kind of taking a bit of the back seat. Bugs right now online are a
Oh
little
yeah,
too
this is annoying.
Ah, yeah.
It's very
Oh
annoying.
man, those bugs are
Especially-
annoying.
Especially on
Mhm.
console. With Adam
yeah.
Super. Oh my god. I
Yeah,
still do
it's
it doing it, but bruh.
You should
doing
like
it.
doing it, but
Oh my god.
Oh, he's a
I hope they never
PlayStation
change it. But
user?
hey,
Yeah.
Oh
But,
my God.
I'm still playing the Quake remaster, like I mentioned earlier. Did
Nice.
phenomenal
Mm.
job on that. I'm trying to actually platinum that game. I'm almost done with first episode on Nightmare.
What
Nice.
kind of game is Quake?
Oh
It's
my
like
Quake.
an old school first person shooter, like the kind of like the
Ah.
frenetic ones. There's no reloading. You fight hordes of monsters.
I think I know
it's
what you're
like
talking about.
Doom. It's like Doom but multiplayer.
Oh, okay. I totally
Like Doom
understand.
but multiplayer.
Well, Quake, the first Quake is not multiplayer.
Oh no, it does have multiplayer. It does.
Well, this version has multiplayer, but when it was released the very first time, Quake 1
Mhm.
used to be a solo game, a little bit like
Right.
Unreal.
Yeah,
Unreal used to be
I
a
love
solo
Unreal
game.
Engine. Unreal Engine was badass. I remember that game.
No, I mean Unreal.
And-
We're talking about
No,
Unreal,
the Unreal
game.
Tournament. I'm sorry.
No, not Unreal Tournament.
Wait,
Unreal.
wait.
Unreal. Is it
Engine,
just called
right?
Unreal?
Yeah,
No, not
it
the
was called
engine.
Unreal. No, Unreal. And there's
Unreal.
also
Unreal was
Unreal 2.
originally.
I can't believe
Yeah.
this is real.
That can't be Unreal.
Wow.
I think this is
we have joke in this episode, guys.
This sounds like a great engine for a podcast. I gotta say, huh? Hey?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I love this.
Unreal Tournament was released way after the first two Unreal game.
Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, it didn't started with Unreal Tournament. It started with Unreal, and then Unreal 2, and then Unreal Tournament. Oh, there's something I'm not 100% sure. Is maybe Unreal 2 was released at the same time as Unreal Tournament, but
I
Yeah.
think that's how it was, but don't quote me.
yes.
I don't know
Don't
neither.
quote me.
Yeah, I don't know
quote
anything.
me.
I just
Don't
know
ever
that I
quote me
played
ever.
them.
Yeah, but they were a great game, and at the time you needed a hell of a computer to run Unreal.
Oh yeah.
It was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was.
Same with Quake 3. That was another
Oh,
game that was
yes.
high
Oh,
demand.
yes. It was so. I mean, I remember when they released Quake 3, the game demanded so much resources that with my friend we were playing the game on Dreamcast.
Mm-hmm.
on
Wow.
4 players on the same screen, split screen.
Oh yeah, those are.
Oh, those. Oh my god.
So we were
Don't
playing
bring me
that. and
back.
That was fun. That was fun.
But you know what's wild is like that game actually had like an officially licensed mouse and keyboard for the Dreamcast that you could play
Right.
with.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
But I
So-
think you could only play on solo. I think with the mouse and keyboard. I think.
Mhm.
That's
Not sure,
crazy.
but
Well, yeah, they took up 2 ports, so
yeah.
like I get the better gaming experience. You two fuckers.
I
just
have
got
the keyboard and
controller.
mouse. You have your
Yeah.
stupid controller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
which
God.
which you
Like a
could.
war.
Let's not forget the Dreamcast controller had only one analogic stick. An analog
Oh.
Yeah,
stick.
it was a piece
So
of crap.
if you wanted to, you couldn't change the y axis or x axis. I think they were both. You have to
Yeah, Y
use
and
the
X.
buttons to
Right.
strafe and to move the camera.
Yeah, for it. So like, let's just say you have like an Xbox controller in front of you, right? It would be like Y is moved forward and A is moved backwards, and then X and B are like strafe left and right.
That's right.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't. You didn't have a second the right analog stick to move the camera
Mhm.
around.
Oh, that's
So you had to use the
sounds
button.
annoying.
It
That
was
sounds
very
so
annoying,
annoying.
but at the time, that's all we had.
Yep.
You had to get used to it. It was very annoying, but that was it. It was fun.
That was it.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Anger. What are you playing?
Oh right, we were talking about playing. I forgot what the topic was. But
It kind of is.
what I'm playing, well, as we talked about, Melted Blood, Dragon Ball
Mhm.
Fighterz a little, yesterday. But the one I've been playing most of the day, that is just an easy game that you don't have to use a brain for, is the Binding of Isaac.
Oh yeah, you've been playing
yeah.
that. That's true.
Yeah, it's a really fun game, and it's just crazy what you can do in a game. But
It's Anger first roguelike.
well,
It's for very first roguelike. I'm
It's-
so
it's-
proud of you,
it's-
Anger.
We were so
They
proud
grew
of
up
you,
so
Anger.
fast.
Maybe.
what? I
Hey,
played
you're
others
so
like
fast.
I played the other one with the king something. No, soldiers going into.
Hollow
Rogue-
Knight.
No.
Rogue Legacy?
Rogue Legacy. There we go. There
Oh,
we go.
Rogue Legacy.
Yeah,
Legacy.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's a really
Mhm.
fun. I was really into it. I did everything. I almost did everything in that game. It's so much fun.
I have the second one, but it's still early access.
I haven't played it yet. I want to play it actually. I
You
actually
know,
want to
Anger,
play it.
if you like roguelikes now, I would recommend Dead Cell.
Yeah, I've heard about Dead Cells.
Dead
like-
Cell is very dynamic, and you would like the combat in Dead Cell and all. It's very good.
You know what? Maybe
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it because I wanna play a small game that is just easy to play and just play. As I play with the ice and I play like easy to play. Just something you can go after working. Yeah,
Pick
yeah. I
up,
wanna
play a
just
few
to chill
games.
out.
Yeah.
Dead Cell
Yeah,
is
can
I make a-
very, very good.
Can I make one recommendation too?
Then I'm
Nuclear-
gonna. Yeah,
Nuclear
continue.
Throw.
Oh,
Yeah, like,
Nuclear
yeah,
Throne. Yeah, very good.
Mhm.
Very good as well.
Because that's like right up your alley if you want something to just jump in, play a couple levels, and be done with it. Because it doesn't quite ramp up as fast as like Binding of Isaac, where it's like like you get a bad hand, that's the end of your run, or
Oh
like
my
you get a good
God.
hand and you get a good hand, you just plow through everything mindlessly. It's a little bit more balanced in my opinion.
It is
Okay.
quite
But-
difficult, Nuclear Throne. It's
Mhm.
quite
Yeah,
tricky.
Today I want to play ice over. I got to like 5 or 6 items bad in a row. I was like, are you kidding me? I was so dead. I was like, how am I supposed to do this? And I somehow survived. And then I lost like all of my health in one room, and it was not even that hard. It was just with the kind of item I had. It just was really bad against these minions or whatever. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake! I was
Yeah,
so angry.
that's
Right.
roguelike for you. That's how it
But
works.
that's the
Yeah,
nice-
I've played it. Yeah.
That's the nice thing about That's the nice thing about Nuclear Throne is like the bosses aren't randomized. You at least know what you're going to be. Even though the levels
Oh.
are procedurally generated, all the bosses are the same. So at least you know what is going to be coming every single time you run.
I gotta check it out. It sounds fun.
Mhm.
I don't
have
know
it,
about
I
Random.
actually have it on Vita, Nuclear Throne. I used to play it
Yeah.
on Vita. Very fun.
Randomness, I really like randomness because it's just I don't know why.
Oh, it's still-
I just really-
It's still got plenty of that in terms of like enemy variety and weapon pickups and level layout and all that stuff.
Can you
But
say,
at
can,
least-
can s- oh yeah, continue.
Yeah, but at least the bosses are the only thing that remain consistent. Like, there's actually things where you can do you can blow part of the wall open and find like a hidden portal and jump ahead 3 levels and stuff like that.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a lot more like faster paced. I feel, but also not as punishing either at the same time.
Ew.
So
Can you the thing I wanted to say was can you send me the can you, Fox, you can cut this off, but can you send me the name of the game to me if on the
Nuclear
DM?
Throne.
Nuclear Throne. I gotta I'm a gay guy that just forgets really fast, but I'm gonna try to remember it. Hey, I'm
If you can remember, just ask.
Yeah. I
yeah,
know.
okay, I lost. Man, bro, I was forgetting, and then I play. Oh right. Oh, fuck.
And you should also check Dead Cells. Dead Cells is actually quite good too.
yeah, Dead Cells is good too.
Yeah.
But that's more of like a
That sounds-
platformer
that
than.
sounds-
Yeah, it's a platformer roguelike. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, just like Rogue Legacy, I guess. More tighter, I think. Controls are more tighter.
Oh yeah, it's a bit like a Soul game almost. A
Mhm.
Dark Soul, mixed with a bit of roguelike.
Yeah, with better controls.
Oh, you said Dark Souls. You probably already turned them off.
No, I mean it's not like
true.
it, but in
It's
terms
true.
of the way you're attacking the enemy and the way the enemy is attacking, it has a same kind of dynamic to it.
I gotta be honest. Kabe was right on the spot, right? When it's a Dark Souls, it's like saying, "Oh, this we are, which what is this? This girl,
What?
What is it? No, on YouTube. What was it?
What?
Huh?
Not VR girls. What's the
What
name?
you said?
VR girl?
VTuber. VTuber. Yeah.
VTuber?
VTubers.
Wait, is it?
VTubers.
Wait. No.
Andrew,
Wait.
where are you going with this?
What is the name? Watson Amelia Hololive stuff.
Oh, Amelia Watson?
Like example, like what they are, It's like saying one of the VTuber, right? You say VTuber, or am I wrong?
No, where did that come from?
Wait, was it? Wait, no. Wait.
That's
What are
staying
they-
in.
Wait.
That's staying in. That's staying in. I don't know what's going on.
I like VTubers. I'll come out and say that, but it's like I don't know where this came from all of a sudden.
No, what I want to say is like someone saying, "Oh, this is this cute VTuber. Oh, you want to see it?" And then the person reads, "Oh, I'm not a gay girl, by the way. I have a pee there down there." It was like, okay, that's not what I expected. Okay, time to go off. That's all I want to say. Wait, that's what works with ordinary people too.
Okay.
Anger, you lost us.
Yeah.
Something about
it's a
PP
bit-
don't work. I don't know.
What?
I'm
No,
confused.
I
No,
think
that's-
it's time
yeah.
I think it's time for Anger to go to bed.
I think so too. We've used them too long.
Yeah.
It's like child labor
Yeah.
laws, I think, in play.
Yeah. We need
I
to be
just want to
careful with that.
mash. Okay, I just want to mash.
All right.
Let
Well,
me be.
I think that's us for today. That was a lot of fun. Thanks, Cov, for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
That was a long overdue. It's always difficult to organize those type of things, but once we're in, it's always a lot of fun to record.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah, I
yeah.
had fun. Mhm.
So yeah,
it's fun.
thanks a lot, Cobb. Thank you guys for watching and listening. If you're just listening to us, I know it's a bit boring, but okay, what are you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
But
With your own
Yeah.
podcast, goddammit.
we appreciate your support. If you can like this video, that would be great. If you can subscribe as well, that'd be amazing. And we come back with another one, hopefully. Nah, I think we come back with another one.
Sure.
And we'll be talking about more video games and etc. Thanks a lot again, and we'll see you later. Bye for now.
Shane, bye.
Alright. Laters.
All
Anger
right.
smells.
No.